A wise man once said, if we are peaceful, if we are happy, we can smile and everyone in our family, our entire society will benefit from our peace. Happy International Day of Peace. Thanks for tuning in to Your Jamaica Magazine. I'm Sandra Clark, your host for the next half hour. Please sit back, relax, and get ready for a peaceful show.
Let's get a little breeze on this land. All right. Now let's get some bounce in the rhythm. All right. Let's get some fire on our hearts. Now that is what we call all right. Run, come, get some Jamaica.
Good day, I'm Stephen McHugh, and this is your JIS News for Friday, September 21. Parents of students sitting the primary exit profile, PEP, are being assured that sufficient materials will be provided to adequately prepare students for the upcoming assessment. Sample items and practice materials are to be made available to the education system and will be accessible free of cost, says Education Minister Senator Ruel Reid.
Well, what I want to say categorically, there's really no shortage of material, right? Because I repeat, the curriculum has been made available, and the content, which is what is it that the student need to know, is already contained in the textbook that we have in the system. There's no need for any new textbook. We haven't approved any new textbook.
The National Standards Curriculum aims to enhance the quality of education offered to learners and improve the general academic performance, attitude, and behavior of students. Minister Reid was addressing the concerns of some parents who had purchased workbooks designed for the obsolete Grade 6 Achievement Test, GSAT, at this week's meeting of the Rotary Club of Portmore. He has urged parents not to panic, as the ministry will provide the core curriculum texts for the primary school system. PEP replaces GSAT as the National Secondary School Entrance Assessment and comprises a performance task, ability test, and a curriculum-based test. Students who entered Grade 6 in September 2018 will make up the first PEP cohort. The Education Ministry has been training teachers for implementation of the assessment. The country has earned $10.7 million from bauxite mining operations at the Noranda plant since 2016. The earnings were generated from a novation agreement with New Day Aluminum, which will see the firm operating the plant for 25 years. A review of the profit-sharing arrangement between the state and New Day will be undertaken every 3 years. The first appraisal is to be conducted in July 2019. Mining Minister Robert Montego gave those details during the question and answer segment at Wednesday's sitting of the House of Representatives. Mr. Montego also gave updates on mining agreements with other companies operating on the island.
Now that the industry is a lot more buoyant, we are moving to treat with and to recover as much as is possible. So that is why Windalco's application to the Ministry of Finance for an extension in their waiver was turned down. And we are looking, for example, at Jamalco. They are making some claims, and the Bauxite Institute has already indicated that they have an amount of $8 million outstanding, and we are moving to recover it.
St. Elizabeth is the next parish on the government's agenda that will receive the development of an agroeconomic zone which will help farmers maximize the industry. This was disclosed by Minister without Portfolio in the Agriculture Ministry, J.C. Hutchinson, at the Bethlehem Moravian College's annual commencement ceremony in Malvern last Wednesday. The agroeconomic zone will consist of a complex that has facilities where grading, drying, packaging, and processing will be carried out.
We are looking at the vision that hopefully by next year we will be able to set up our first agroeconomic zone in St. Elizabeth, whereby the farmers in the parish here will know that they have a ready market for whatever they grow.
Minister Hutchinson also pledged to assist with the development of the farm at the Moravian College through the Agricultural Push Start program, where they will not only receive seeds but also 2 water tanks. The institution is expected to receive the necessary support by latest October. The National Solid Waste Management Authority NSWMA is on a drive to rid the country of illegal dump sites. The agency yesterday carried out its latest raid of removing improperly disposed waste, this time along Arnold Road in Kingston. Executive Director at the NSWMA, Audley Gordon, says it is becoming a normal activity for citizens to dump and litter on open lots and along roadways. He says more prosecution measures as well as a nationwide campaign will be coming on stream to prevent persons from carrying out this illegal activity.
That will see us more visible out there, and will see us doing more stakeout operations, and we will catch someone and they will pay. Already we have done a number of prosecutions in this regard.
Some illegal dump sites have had to be cleared up to 3 times in a month, costing the country millions of dollars to collect, transport, and dispose of waste. Still on solid waste, the National Council on Ocean and Coastal Zone Management has expressed its full support for the government's announcement on the ban on single-use plastic bags, straws, and styrofoam, which is to take effect in its first phase January 1, 2019. The multi-agency council is tasked with, among other things, formulating marine sector policies and sensitizing the public to the importance of the marine sector to the sustainable development of Jamaica. It is estimated that worldwide over 350 million metric tons of plastic material is produced each year, and 10 million ends up in the ocean. This contributes greatly to the declining health of the ocean and its resources. Scientists predict that by 2030 there will be more plastic than fish in the ocean. The Council has committed to assisting with the public education campaign and has designated Council member Professor Mona Weber, Director for the Center of Marine Sciences at the University of the West Indies, Mona, to act as an ambassador to help educate the public on the science behind plastic pollution and its impact on the health of the oceans and mankind. And finally, hundreds of mourners turned out at the St. Andrew Parish Church on Thursday to pay final respects to the late former government minister Easton Wentworth Xavier Douglas. The congregation included Prime Minister Andrew Holness, who read the first lesson, and former Prime Ministers P.J. Patterson and Portia Simpson Miller, who both delivered tributes. Mr. Patterson noted that Mr. Douglas, who served as Minister of Health, Public Service and Environment and Housing, was a town planner by profession who ensured that thousands of Jamaicans received proper housing during his tenure in politics.
Easton's skills in physical planning and urban development were formidable, resulting eventually in his appointment as Chief Town Planner.
Mr. Douglas was Member of Parliament of Southeast St. Andrew from 1989 to 2002. He was also a Permanent Secretary, Government Town Planner, and the Minister responsible for the 1996 National Land Policy. The body of the late Easton Douglas was interred at the St. Dorothy's Church grounds in Old Harbour, St. Catherine. And that's it for JIS News Today. I'm Stephen McHugh. Thanks for watching.
No traffic is allowed through the 3 miles intersection of the corporate area. Motorists coming from Mandela Highway or Spanish Town Road heading towards Halfway Tree may detour along Washington Boulevard. Those heading towards the downtown Crossroad area from Spanish Town Road may travel through the communities of Waterhouse or Portmore. The 3 miles intersection and environs are being upgraded to create a seamless connection between the corporate area and St. Catherine. As mentioned earlier, today is International Day of Peace, and it is being celebrated under the theme, The Right to Peace. What does this mean? Simply put, everyone in this world has a right to a peaceful life, free from war, hatred, worry, frustration, and disharmony. And one way of eliminating enemies of peace within our society is by creating more peaceful spaces in our homes, schools, and communities. Here's one way of doing this.
Mr. War had absolutely no respect, no love, war became so violent that zones of special operations had to be mounted in our little island home, Jamaica. And even states of emergency had to be summoned. But today, we are proud to say we're burying Mr. War, and we're burying the things that would lead to war. Because today, all we are saying, peace we say.
Yes, you heard right. Mr. War and his affiliates were buried during the Peace Day celebrations at Denhamtown Primary School recently, and the Trees for Peace initiative was planted. Trees signify a fresh start on life, positive energy, good health, and a bright future. It's no wonder the Violence Prevention Alliance and the Ministries of Education and Justice have launched the Trees for Peace competition in schools.
We're planting trees for peace because it's part of an overall program that we're looking to improve the behavior in schools and to reduce the violence in schools and replace it with peace.
We here at Denhamtown, we are excited to start the ball roll because we are going to, put some benches in there and people come and relax, and when you have disagreement or just unwind in our peace garden. And not only that, we want other schools and community to copy our peace garden.
It is a reminder that while there is a place for the zone of special operation, while there is a space for the limited state of emergency, the Ministry of Education and schools and stakeholders of our education system also has a fundamental role to play.
And speaking about stakeholders, the initiative, which was jointly launched at the Zozo communities of Denhamtown in Kingston and Mount Salem in St. James, would not be possible without the many partners and supporters. They have challenged schools to establish peace gardens where students and members of the community can go to resolve conflicts, relax, and just enjoy the natural environment. You've heard the cry of the students, but how can you join this initiative, you ask?
The requirements for the competition is to fill in the registration form and to send a picture of where your peace garden will be. We need to get the registration in during the month of March, so up to the 31st of March.
Months later, we're going to be visiting schools again and acknowledging and rewarding and celebrating their achievement. We are going to be incentivizing their effort.
Schools that establish and maintain their peace gardens will not only receive cash prizes and trophies, their stories will also be shared across Jamaica.
Think of a fellow man, lend him a helping hand, put a little peace in your heart, and the world will be a better place, and the world will be a better place for you and me. Just wait and see. Peace was said.
And why should you join the fight for peace?
It will build a really great community, because why some children is afraid to come out of their houses is because of the crime and the violence in the community. So we will have a better chance to have more children at school.
Peace will help, like, tranquility in the community so they can concentrate in their work and get better grades.
One of the important things that the security forces has told us that they need the cooperation of all the other services to really re-establish peace. They can't always be here in this number, and we're building the foundation, and the branches and the leaves of the trees will help keep, and the roots that we're watering will help keep the community together and keep the peace as we go forward.
For more information on the Trees for Peace initiative, call 702 2709 or 774-5348. You may also email vpajamaica@gmail.com.
Hurricanes can strike at any time. In the event of one, be prepared to act quickly. If a hurricane watch or warning has been issued, review your home disaster response plan. Map out likely routes to evacuate if your home is at risk and confirm with relatives or friends you plan to stay with. Also, confirm the location of the nearest shelter. Check your emergency supplies and restock if necessary. Remember, disasters do happen, so be prepared.
Have you ever heard about hurricane hunters? What comes to mind? If you are as smart as I think you are, you probably already know what a hurricane hunter is. But just in case you don't, or just want a refresher's course to jog your memory, fix your eyes on this next feature.
Hurricane Matthew is still a Category 4 hurricane on the Saffir-Simpson scale. It is continuing to move northward, which takes it closer and closer to Jamaican waters. More information is coming out from the Hurricane Center.
The Atlantic hurricane season runs from June 1 through to November 30. These dates historically describe the period when most tropical cyclones form in the Atlantic basin. A number of tools are used, like satellites, radars, and computer models, to determine where a hurricane will go and how intense it will be. But a critical part of forecasting is done by the specially equipped NOAA aircrafts called Hurricane Hunters, which collect data through high-flying meteorological stations.
That will be transmitted back to the Hurricane Center and then made available to all the region, including Jamaica.
WC-130J Hercules is a high-wing, medium-range aircraft used in weather reconnaissance missions. This plane is configured to penetrate tropical disturbances and storms, as well as hurricanes and winter storms, and get data on the movement, size, and intensity of these systems. The NOAA Gulfstream model, nicknamed Gonzo, is a high-tech, high-flying, and high-speed twin-engine jet that flies around and over developing tropical cyclones to create a detailed picture of the surrounding upper atmosphere. It has a range of nearly 4,000 nautical miles and a cruising altitude of 45,000 feet. The Lockheed model, nicknamed Kermit, is in a class by itself. Formulated with unique scientific instrumentation, radars, and recording systems, the Kermit is able to do horizontal and vertical scans of storms.
So we'll have two meteorologists sit up front there. The person in the left seat is usually verifying the dropson data that we're collecting. The person on the right is helping with navigation. The station behind that is where our radar operator sits. So we've got a radar in the nose and a radar in the tail collecting data for us. This is where all of our data systems reside. And then back here is where we're actually dropping the songs. So we'll prepare one of the songs here, pass it over to that guy. He'll prepare it there just so we have a backup just in case this computer goes dead or that computer goes dead. Once the song is ready to go, close the door.
Cutting through the eye wall of a hurricane, lashed by extreme winds, dazzling rain, and fierce updrafts and downdrafts before entering the calm of the storm, probing every wind and pressure change during the course of 8 to 10 hours. So why aren't these aircrafts torn apart during these flights? Well, they are generally not destroyed by strong winds while in flight. It's the sheer or sudden change in horizontal or vertical winds that can destroy an aircraft or cause its loss of control. That's why NOAA Hurricane Hunter aircraft don't fly through tornadoes, but they are always monitoring for hotspots of severe weather and shear that they can often identify on radar and avoid if it's too severe.
We are always in direct communication with the National Hurricane Center. As soon as they get the information, we speak to them, they tell us what is happening, and so when we are ready to issue a warning, if we feel that we are threatened, we communicate that to the Hurricane Center. We are ready to issue a warning, what do you think? And we take that decision and they make it public to all the countries, not only in the region, but even wider than that through the internet and other means.
The Ministry of Education has been taking steps to dispel fears about the new primary exit profile exams through the use of PEP camps, PEP sensitization sessions, PEP town hall meetings, and PEP workshops, just to name a few. But did you know it has also taken steps to train its first set of PEP student ambassadors? Did I pique your interest? Watch this. This year's 30th staging of the Jamaica Library Service's annual reading competition is one to remember. It's the year when the winners are handpicked by the Ministry of Education to become Jamaica's first set of student PEP ambassadors. Marsha Malcolm, Kadian Anderson, Eliaja Harris, Shakwana Ojedukan, and Daniel Lyle. These are the 5 reigning champions of the Jamaica Library Service Reading Competition.
The National Reading Competition is a reading program that the Jamaica Library Service has been doing for the past 30 years. We have this competition administered island-wide in all our libraries, and it is open to any member of the library from age 6 years and over.
And a lot of this reading involves book review, where students have to read a number of books. They have to do critical analysis, they have to do summaries, they have to change the ending, and so on. It's developing their skills of analysis, problem-solving skills, etc. I had to commend them because it very much aligned to the National Standards curriculum, what we're trying to achieve through the primary exit profile.
And this was one of the main reasons why the ministry has chosen these champions to assist in sharing useful information about PEP in our schools. In fact, the minister was so pleased with the competition that he is now thinking of incorporating more book reviews in the school curriculum.
There was a consideration some time ago to have had a book review as part of PEP. That was shifted, and so we are now seriously looking at adding that in grades 1 to 3, that students need to do mandatory book reviews as part of their preparation to do their formal PEP assessments.
But how will the ministry ensure that these students are equipped with the knowledge and information to be outstanding PEP ambassadors?
There will be a specific coaching training session that will be conducted with these students so they understand the nature of the questions, how they can guide other students, what other little activities they can do in terms of groups and so on. So they will support, and of course they will get feedback from students as well, and they will feed it back to their coach within Jamaica Library Service, and together we see how we can ensure that those areas or concerns that they raise are also addressed.
By now, you might be thinking about how you too can enter the competition. If so, go for it. Applications will open again pretty soon.
It's administered annually. It starts in March each year, and it runs for 6 months from March to August. So anyone can walk into our libraries island-wide. We have 117 libraries across the island.
And just before you enter, here's a quick tip from Daniel Lyle, who not only dominated the 6 to 8-year-old category, but also copped the highest award in the competition this year.
Well, one tip is that you have to do your best always, and your best is the best you can do.
Do you or someone you know have Alzheimer's? Not sure? No worries. In observation of World Alzheimer's Day today, I've decided to share with you a few facts so you will be better able to detect this widespread mental illness. The first thing you need to know is that Alzheimer's is the most common type of dementia in the world. Not only does it gradually cause memory loss, it can also affect a person's reasoning skills, mood, and behavior. So what are some of the early symptoms of the disease? 1. Forgetting recent conversations or events. 2. Repeating yourself regularly, such as asking the same question several times. 3. Showing poor judgment or finding it harder to make decisions. And 4. Forgetting the names of places and objects. So, with this new information, let me ask the question again. Do you or someone you know have Alzheimer's? If you think there might be cause to worry, you or the person you know don't have to live alone. Seek support from your family, friends, or the Alzheimer's Jamaica support group by emailing alzheimersjamaica@gmail.com.
The Ministry of Finance wants to hear from you. Join us for a town hall on Jamaica's economic reform program at 7 p.m. this Friday, September 21. Come share with us Minister of Finance, Dr. the Honorable Nigel Clark, Minister Favour Williams, IMF Mission Chief, EPOC Chair, and the Governor of the Bank of Jamaica. We want to hear from you. This Friday at 7 p.m., Carl Hendrickson Auditorium, Jamaica College. Be there.
Speeding through life and the traffic lights till somebody get hurt and the tears start cry. Save a life for the kids, for you and I. Save kids' lives. Make the road safe whether day or night, for pedestrians, passengers, cars and bikes. Save a life for the kids, for you and I. Save kids' lives.
Hey man, it's our job to keep the road them safe. Have to take care of the youth them so we know them safe. And obey the road code, don't race. No bother with the speeding case, make face and check your light them and your tires and brakes. Riders on the pillions who left the helmet. Put on the cell phone, no send no text. No matter what color they on your plate.
When you're on the road, take your time. When you're on the road, bear this in mind. When you're on the road, you can save a life. When you're on the road, when you're on the road, I beg you please be safe. Wear your seatbelt to keep you safe, and make sure your helmet's in place when you're on the road.
Hey, follow me. Well, everybody drive good and walk good. Then teach the youth them how to cross good. I beg you obey the road signs, park good. And put the young ones in a car seats, all good. And everybody drive good and walk good. And we say young and old, I beg you cast good. Remember the dark clothes at night, that is not good. From you I use up the sidewalk, it's all good.
When you're on the road, take your time. When you're on the road, bear this in mind. When you're on the road, you can save a life. When you're on the road, when you're on the road, I beg you please be safe. Wear your seatbelt to keep you safe, and make sure your helmet's in place. When you're on the road, when you're on the road, when you're on the road.
And this is where we close off our magazine for today. We do hope it was an inspiring one. If you enjoyed our show, feel free to drop us an email at jamaicamagazine@gis.gov.jm or send us a message on any of our social media sites. While you're at it, visit our website, jis.gov.jm, to watch this program all over again. I'm Sandra Clark, wishing you a peaceful weekend.
This has been a production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.